Okay, so theories of language learning. A particular teaching method is derived from the particular theories of the nature of language. Previously, we have talked that a method is derived from a theory. An approach is or a method respond to the two questions relating to a language theory. What are the psycholinguistic and cognitive processes involved in language teaching? Previously, we have talked about the structuralist theories or linguistic theories. Here, we will be discussing the psycholinguistics theories. So, the method and approach will be dealing with that question, that is, what is the psycholinguistic and cognitive processes? Cognitive processes means how to understand a theory, how to understand the language teaching. What are the conditions that need to be met in order for those learning processes to be activated? So what are the learning and cognitive processes and how that processes can be activated in case of language teaching? So language learning theories associated with a method at a level of approach may emphasize either one or both of these dimensions. So there are two kinds of language theory. One, linguistic theory and psycho-linguistic theory. A method can link to one, that means the linguistic theory, or may be linked to both, that is linguistic theory or psycholinguistic theory. And process-oriented theories built on learning processes. So process-oriented theories, some theories will be dealing with the process, how you can understand, in which way you can understand, that is the process-oriented theories. And how? That is the habit formation, induction, inferencing, hypothesis testing, and generalization. So this is the process-oriented theories, that is how habit can form. So language learning is a bit habit, isn't it? So theories that is relating to process-oriented, that is the habit formation, inferencing, induction, hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing means, what is hypothesis? অনুমানটা কি যে লিসেনিং ভাষা শেখাতে সাহায্য করে, এটা হাইপোথেসিস, এবং এটা আদৌ করে কিনা এটাকে টেস্ট করাটাকেই বলা হচ্ছে হাইপোথেসিস টেস্টিং। Condition oriented theories. Look here, we are discussing language theories, that is linguistics theories and psycholinguistics theories. Method will be linked to theories. One theories may link to linguistic theories or psycholinguistic theories. Linguistic theories can be process oriented theories. Process oriented theories হ্যাবিট ফরমেশনের মধ্যে কি থিওরি আছে, সো সেক্ষেত্রে মেথডগুলো কী কী। আবার কিছু কিছু জায়গায় আছে যে কন্ডিশন ওরিয়েন্টেড থিওরিজ। কন্ডিশন ওরিয়েন্টেড থিওরিজ কি? দ্যাট এমফাসাইজ দ্য নেচার অফ হিউম্যান। কন্ডিশন ওরিয়েন্টেড থিওরিজ, it is assumed that language learning may be effective from 5 to 8 or 5 to 13 years of age. বলা হয়ে থাকে যে ভাষা শেখা যত তাড়াতাড়ি হয় ততই ভালো। 5 থেকে 14 বছরের বাচ্চারা যত ভালোভাবে শেখে ভাষা, সেটা 20 থেকে 40 বছরের বাচ্চারা শেখে না, অথবা লার্নার। হ্যাঁ, টিনেজ তো হচ্ছে কত, 18 তাই না, 19-18, তাহলে 20 বছরের বাচ্চা বলতে পারি না। ওকে, তাহলে কি কন্ডিশনটা কি? কন্ডিশন হচ্ছে এখানে আপনার এজ। এজ ক্যান প্লে দ্য ভাইটাল ফ্যাক্টর অফ লার্নিং আ থিং। As long as whenever you were the college student, you had no tension, father will be giving everything. As gradually you will be growing up, you have to take job, you have to take family bondings, you have to think many things, isn't it? So the involvement will be there, so your brain will be involved in so many things. So the human condition and the physical context, and physical context means suppose we are sitting over here in the classroom, but you are getting so many noises outside. If you study in the bus, you will be getting so many distractions. But if you study in the library, there will be no instruction. You can't make phone call loudly while you will be reading in libraries. Okay. So age and the environment, that related language learning theory is called condition oriented theory. Look here, we are discussing the linkage between theory and practice. And the theory and practice, the linkage, the practice and method is called method. Practice is called method and theory is approach. So theory may be process oriented and also condition oriented. For example, psycholinguistic, that is not cognitive. Okay, that is the cognitive process. That means how you can understand. Suppose a thing can be understood by a person in 1 hour. Same thing can be understood by the person can be 1 day. That means the cognitive level, that means the understanding level is different from person to person. Okay, from student to student. That is the cognitive perspective. And the habit formation. Habit formation, sometimes you may start talking and you can talk without any break up to 30 minutes. But someone can't talk because you have formed your habit with practice, but someone can't practice that habit. So the habit formation and the memory and the presentation criteria, everything is related to psychocognitive or understanding level of the learners. Okay. So this is an example. Stephen D. Krashen, American linguist and educationist, he has come up with the idea of monitor model and is a learning theory on which a method called the natural approach is derived. Okay. So it is a theory, and in this theory he has described many things, that is acquisition learning. Okay. উনি বলছেন যে হচ্ছে যে ইনপুট দরকার, কিন্তু কোন ধরনের ইনপুট? যে জিনিসটা পড়তে আপনার ভালো লাগে, যে জিনিসটা শুনতে আপনার ভালো লাগে, এরকম পড়া এবং শোনা যদি ভাষা শেখার সবার ক্ষেত্রে ব্যবহার করা যায় তাহলে ভাষা শেখাটা এফেক্টিভ হয়। So this theory, Stephen Krashen's theory, is called language learning theory, and from that theory a method is derived. What is the method? Natural approach or natural method. Okay. That means yes, উনি 5টা হাইপোথিসিসের কথা বলেছেন, ইনপুট হাইপোথিসিস, এফেক্টিভ ফিল্টার হাইপোথিসিস। সো দিস থিওরিজ, অল দিস হাইপোথিসিস, এইগুলোকে উনি বলছেন কি হাইপোথিসিস, আর অ্যাপ্রোচটা কি হাইপোথিসিস অর অ্যাজাম্পশন। তাহলে স্টিফেন ডি ক্রাশেন্সের যে 5টা হাইপোথিসিস সেগুলোকে বলা হচ্ছে অ্যাপ্রোচ, এবং সেগুলোর উপরে ভিত্তি করে একটা মেথড এসেছে, কারণ থিওরির উপরে ভিত্তি করে কি হয়, মেথড হয়, এবং সেই মেথডটার নাম হলো ন্যাচারাল মেথড অর ন্যাচারাল অ্যাপ্রোচ। মনিটর থিওরি inspires both the process and the condition dimension of the learning. Process and condition. Process এর মধ্যে কি ছিলাম? Habit formation, and condition হলো physical condition or the context of the classroom or something. So this monitor model can be linked with both process and condition oriented theories. In the process level, Krashen's monitor model distinguishes between acquisition and learning. How Krashen's monitor model is linked to process-oriented theory. He said that yes, language learning cannot be done. So there is a difference between acquisition and learning. He said that acquisition is the natural process. Okay, so he gave emphasis, Stephen D. Krashen gave emphasis on acquisition. So that is the process. So in which way language learning effective? According to Stephen D. Krashen's monitor model, that is, if you learn language naturally like the children, that would be effective. উনি ক্লাসরুম টিচিং এর কথা বলছেন না, উনি বলছেন যে যদি আপনি যে ভাষা শিখতে চান সেই ভাষার কার্টুন দেখেন, সেই ভাষার পত্রিকা পড়েন। কোন পত্রিকা? যেই পত্রিকা পড়ে আপনি পরীক্ষায় দিবেন সেটা না, পরীক্ষার জন্য যে পড়া সেটাকে উনি বলছেন যে এটা এই পড়লে আপনি ভাষা শিখবেন না, ওটাকে বলছেন উনি সেলফ ভলেন্টারি রিডিং। সেলফ ভলেন্টারি রিডিং মিনস দ্যাট রিডিং you will be reading at the time of taking tea in your breakfast table. The reading that will go before sleeping at night. রাত্রে কারো অনেকের ইনসোমনিয়া হয়, ঘুমাতে যাওয়ার আগে একটা বই নিয়ে পড়লে নাকি ঘুম তাড়াতাড়ি আসে, ঠিক আছে? তো ওই সময় তো আপনি পরীক্ষার পড়া পড়বেন না, পরীক্ষার পড়া পড়লে তো হচ্ছে কি হয়ে যাবে, ব্রেন আরও। এটাকে উনি বলছেন যে হ্যাঁ, আপনি সেই সময় কি পড়বেন, আপনি হচ্ছে নিউজ ম্যাগাজিন, এই স্পোর্টস ম্যাগাজিন পড়তে ভালোবাসেন, সেই স্পোর্টস ম্যাগাজিনটা আপনার বেডের সাইডে আছে, ওটা নিয়ে আপনি এক পেজ পড়লেন। সেটা যদি আপনার টার্গেট ভাষা শেখা যদি হচ্ছে আপনার ফ্রেঞ্চ হয় তাহলে ফরাসি ভাষায় শিখলেন, ইংরেজি হলে ইংরেজি ভাষায় শিখলেন। এইটাকে উনি বলছেন ভলেন্টারি রিডিং। ওকে, সো এই প্রসেস অ্যান্ড প্রোডাক্ট ওরিয়েন্টেড থিওরিস ইজ রিলেটেড। So the distinguish between acquisition and learning. So it means acquisition refers to the natural assimilation of language rules, natural assimilation, okay, and learning refers to the formal study. Okay, so this is monitor model, and Carson's theory also addresses the condition necessary for the process of acquisition to take place. I can say the condition. He has also said that affective filter hypothesis. Affective filter hypothesis. That means if any learner becomes afraid about anything, about examination, about parents scold or rebuke, okay? মা বাবা বকবে পরীক্ষা ভালো না করলে, পরীক্ষা ভালো মার্কস পাবো না, আমি পরীক্ষা ভালো না করলে আমি বাইরের ভিসা পাবো না, বাইরের কি পাবো না, হায়ার স্টাডিজে যেতে পারবো না, হ্যাঁ, এমফিল পিএইচডি করতে পারবো না, ভালো চাকরি করতে পারবো না, এরকম যত প্রকার ভয় আছে উনি বলছেন যদি ভয় যদি থাকে তাহলে কি হবে, শিক্ষাটা ভালো হবে না। ওকে, তবে উনি ভয়ের কথা আবার একদম বাধা দেননি, লেস এফেক্টিভ ফিল্টার, লেস এফেক্টিভ ফিল্টার। সো Carson theory and the conditions necessary to the process of acquisition take place. So if anybody becomes afraid much, he or she will not be the successful second language learner. The afraid is less, learning is much, or learning is better, even the best. That is his theory. So the process or condition. So Carson describes these terms as the type of input of that learner receive, and input must be comprehensible. Comprehensible means understandable. আপনি কোথাও যাচ্ছেন, যেতে যেতে হয়তো পাশে কেউ কিছু বলছে, ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু আপনি শুনছেন না, কিন্তু হঠাৎ করে এমন একটা সংবাদ বলল, তখন আপনি আকর্ষণ হলেন যে আর কি বলছেন, হ্যাঁ একটু শোনার চেষ্টা করুন। সো যে নিউজটা আপনার আগ্রহ, যে পড়াটা আপনার আগ্রহ জন্মাবে, সেই পড়াটাই হচ্ছে আপনার ইনপুট হবে। যেই শোনাটা, যেই গান আপনি ভালোবাসেন, সেই গানের মধ্যে যদি আপনার আগ্রহ থাকে তাহলে আপনি আগ্রহ নিয়ে গানটা শুনবেন, এবং সেই ধরনের লিসেনিংটাই হবে হচ্ছে কম্প্রিহেন্সিবল ইনপুট, সেই ধরনের রিডিংটাই হবে কম্প্রিহেন্সিবল ইনপুট। আপনি আরবি গান শুনতে একদমই ভালোবাসেন না, ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আরবি গান আপনার কম্প্রিহেন্সিবল ইনপুট হবে না। আরবি কার্টুন বা এরকম কোনো কিছু থাকলে সেটা আপনার কম্প্রিহেন্সিবল ইনপুট হবে। অথবা ফ্রেঞ্চ মিউজিক আপনি শুনতে ভালোবাসেন, কিন্তু কোরিয়ান সিনেমা আপনার দেখতে ভালো লাগে, তাহলে কোরিয়ান মুভির যে ইনপুট সেটা ভ্যারি, পার্সন টু পার্সন ভ্যারি। ম্যাটিভ ইজ দ্যাট হোয়াট ইউ উইল ফিল ডিজায়ার টু রিড অ্যান্ড লিসেন, দ্যাট উড বি ইয়োর কম্প্রিহেন্সিবল ইনপুট। And if input become comprehensible, understanding become comprehensible, that would be the proper input, and your language learning will be better, even the best. That is the comprehensible input hypothesis by Stephen D. Carson. So next time, Tarsi D. Terrell natural approach is another method which is derived from the particular view of a language. Natural approach specifies both process and condition. Similarly, the language theory underlies the method like counseling, learning, and the silent way. These are also the method, okay, that is derived from the theory, language theory. So again and again I am repeating that from theory a method is derived. So here we have got counseling, language learning theory, and also the silent way. These are the method, and these two method was derived from language theory. Okay. And these two methods basically reveal the learning condition. সো এটা থিওরি, কোন ধরনের থিওরি? কন্ডিশন ওরিয়েন্টেড থিওরি। সাইলেন্ট ওয়েতে বলা হচ্ছে যে টিচার শুধু বলবে, স্টুডেন্টরা মাথা ডাউন করে শুনে যাবে, কোনো হোমওয়ার্ক না, ঠিক আছে, সাইলেন্ট ওয়ে, উনি সব শুনবেন, ঠিক আছে। কাউন্সেল ওরিয়েন্টেড থিওরি, অনেককে দেখা যায় যে কিছু বলতে বলা হলো, এতজন ক্লাসরুমে মানুষের সাথে বলবে, হি অর শি মাইট ফিল শাই, বাট if anybody comes to someone else, senior one to one, okay, then he or she will not be feeling shy, okay. In that case, the language teaching will be like the counseling. What are the counseling? That means if you feel shy to a doctor, যদি ডাক্তারের কাছে গিয়ে যদি আপনি লজ্জা করেন আপনার অসুখের কথা বলতে, তাহলে তো প্রপার ট্রিটমেন্ট হবে না। এই কাউন্সেলিং ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ লার্নিংটা এরকম, যেখানে টিচার হচ্ছে আপনার ডক্টরের কাজ করবে এবং স্টুডেন্ট সেখানে হচ্ছে ক্লায়েন্ট বা লার্নারের কাজ করবে, সেক্ষেত্রে সেই ধরনের। সো ইট ইজ counseling, language learning and the silent way, these are the process or condition oriented theory, okay. So from theory a method is derived. From Stephen D. Carson's hypothesis a theory is derived, that is the natural method, and from condition oriented language theory two methods are derived, that is the counseling language learning or the silent way. So in such a way methods are derived from. Charles Curran, another linguist, pioneered the counseling language learning in 1972. Counseling language learning focuses primarily on the condition for the successful language learning. Curran believes that atmosphere of the classroom is very important. Okay, how you will be putting, setting the classroom setting is important. Okay, so this is about Curran's view. And James Asher, he has come up with another method, that is the total physical response. Okay, here learners will not be talking with mouth, or they will not speak anything. Actually they will follow order. Okay, the teacher will say stand up, learner will stand up. Go to the door, learner will go to door. Okay, okay, raise your hands, learner will raise your hands. Okay, scream, learner will scream. So go to the door, এখানে go to ভার্বটাকে উনি শেখাচ্ছেন কিভাবে? টোটাল ফিজিক্যাল রেসপন্সে, যা টিচার বলবে সেই কাজগুলো কি করবে? স্টুডেন্ট করে দেখাবে। তার মানে বলা হচ্ছে যে যদি আপনি মুখে না বলে কাজ করে দেখান, তার মানে আপনার হলো কি আছে, একটা প্যাসিভ ভোকাবুলারি আছে, দ্যাট ইউ ক্যান আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড দ্য ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ, অ্যান্ড হোয়েন এভার ইউ উইল বি পারফর্মিং দ্য ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ থ্রু ইউর ফিজিক্যাল অ্যাক্টিভিটিস, দেয়ার উইল বি নো ম্যাটার অফ শেম। আমি একটা উচ্চারণ ভালোভাবে করতে পারলাম না, স্টুডেন্টের সবাই, ক্লাসের সবাই হাসলো, এটার এখানে কোনো অবকাশ নাই। দ্যাট ইজ কল্ড দ্য টোটাল ফিজিক্যাল রেসপন্স। ওকে, দ্যাট ইজ অলসো ডিরাইভড ফ্রম আ ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ লার্নিং theory. Okay, so Asher's theory enhances both the process and the condition aspects of the language learning theory. Okay, so language understanding will be occurred with body movements, and next time physical action show or provide the condition of the successful language production. Another person, Chalep, get and goes silent way, is built on a language theory of the condition necessary for the successful language learning. Okay, so structuralism is a linguistic theory, while behaviorism is a learning theory. Okay, so structuralism is a linguistic theory and behaviorism is a learning theory. On the basis of the structure, a theory is established, that is structuralism, and on the habit formation, behavior formation, there is a theory, that is the behaviorism in second language learning theory. Okay, so such kind of linkage will not always occur. For example, cognitive code proponent is linked to more sophisticated model of structuralism. Again, it is linked to a more mentalistic and less behavioristic learning theory. So these are the level of an approach, learning theory, and concerned with the theoretical principles. In case of language theory, model of language competence and the basic features of the linguistic organization and the language uses are the principles concerns. On the contrary, the learning theory, the central processes of learning, condition, context, belief, promote successful language learning are the important factors. So, in case of process oriented, we see condition, context that are important. So, these very principles may lead to method. So, language oriented theory, process oriented theory, condition oriented theory, all theory will move to method. So, the main thing is that method is derived from a theory. That theory may be process oriented theory, that may be condition oriented theory, that theory might be linguistic theory, that might be behaviorist theory, any theory. So, in every method there is a theory. So, theory will be put in practice in method. Okay, so this type of language teaching and learning method may revise, vary, modify and develop on the basis of the performance. Okay, so method cannot be applicable for all types of students of all over the world. One method may be applicable for one student and one method may not be applicable for another students. So in that case, method may vary, modify or change through the process of time and through the process of context from one country to another country. A group of teachers may follow same language and learning theory. That means a similar approach, but their implementation and the main method might be different from each other. So one theory teacher may follow, but their method may be different. Okay. So it would be based on the necessity of the language learner. Approach doesn't specify the procedure or the method of a language teaching learning. Again, language learning theories do not dictate a particular set of teaching technique and activities. The linkage between theory and practice is called design. So these are the linkages. Method is linked to process, theory, every method. Okay. And the linkage between theory and method is called design. Design is an important part of a language learning. So design, what would be the design? We have got the objective in case of method, okay, and how your method will be applicable or linked to a theory, that would be established in a way, and that way is called design. So what is the design? In order to have a method from an approach, it is necessary to develop a design. Design, you know, design of a room, design of a building, okay, design of a garden, isn't it? In such a way, method and approach, the linkage will be designed to have a successful language learning teaching scenario, and that is the design. And design for the instructional system, design is the level of method analysis. In a method, we have to consider the following. So what is the design? In the design, what are the objective of a method? How language content is selected and organized within a method. So if I say that what is the component of a design, that would be there. In case of design, objectives will be there. Language content will be there. When you will be teaching grammar translation method, you can put reading comprehension over there. Okay. So you have to set the grammar portion, vocabulary, অ্যান্টোনিম সিনোনিম। আপনি ভোকাবুলারি বিল্ড করতে চাচ্ছেন, তাহলে কি করতে হবে? কোন ধরনের সিলেবাসে কোন কন্টেন্টগুলো থাকবে, সেখানে সিমিলার ওয়ার্ড থাকবে, অ্যান্টোনিম সিনোনিম থাকবে, ওকে, সেখানে গ্রামাটিক্যাল পোর্শন থাকবে। কারণ আপনি মেথড কি করেছেন, মেথড যদি আপনার জিটিএম হয়, এই ধরনের আপনার সিলেবাস এবং কন্টেন্ট হবে আলাদা। মেথড যদি আপনার ডিরেক্ট মেথড হয়, তার কন্টেন্ট হবে আলাদা। এই কন্টেন্ট এবং সমস্ত কিছুর যে লিঙ্কেজ, এই লিঙ্কেজটাকে বলা হচ্ছে ডিজাইন। Design will be making the linkage. The type of learning tasks, if there is any task, and teaching activities in a method. The role of learners, I have said it earlier, actually the role of learners is crucial in case of every method. So in a design, role of learners will be there, role of teachers will be there, role of instructional materials will be there, and procedures, how you will be implementing all these things, content, role of learners, role of teachers, okay. Some teachers will make the group study, okay. In case of a method, group study is encouraged, okay. So that would be included in design. And objectives, a method focuses on the influence of the different theories of the language. Objective determine what to achieve in a method. Objective determines what to achieve in a method. Okay. And alternatively, some method put greater emphasis on the accurate grammar and perfect pronunciation from the very beginning. Okay. So that would be the in that case, Get and Go writes, learning is not seen as a means of accumulation knowledge, but as the means of becoming a more proficient learners in whatever one is engaged in. So that is design will be there, objectives will be there, syllabus. Okay, syllabus is also important perspectives of every design. And all methods of language teaching involve the use of the target language. Some methods select language item overtly, some other methods select language items covertly. So in that syllabus, কোনো সিলেবাসে দেখবেন যে গ্রামাটিক্যাল পোর্শনটা বেশি হাইলাইট করছে, কোনো মেথডের না। কেন? অ্যাকর্ডিং টু দ্য ডিজাইন। And also type of learnings and teaching activities will be there. Okay, so according to the method you have to implement the type of activities. Okay, and according to the method you have to select the learner's role. Learner's role, what would be the learner's role? Generally a method reflects explicit or implicit response to the questions concerning the learner's contribution to the class. Okay, as I have said earlier, that in case of GTM, learner's role is passive. In case of CLT, learner's role is very active. So in case of GTM, learner's role is very implicit. Implicit means খুব বেশি direct না. And in case of direct method, learner's role will be explicit. Okay, so learners will be, in case of audiolingualism, learners' role are limited, because in audiolingualism, learner are seen as the stimulus response mechanism whose learnings is direct and repetitive practice. Okay, and learners plan their own learning program, and this assume responsibility for what they do in the classroom. So learner will be determine their activity according to the method. Okay, যেই মেথড ফলো করা হচ্ছে সেই অনুযায়ী লার্নার ডিটারমিন করবে যে লার্নারের রোল কি হবে। অ্যাকচুয়ালি দ্য স্পেসিফিক লার্নার রোল উইল বি লাইক দ্যাট, লার্নার্স মনিটর অ্যান্ড ইভ্যালুয়েট দেয়ার ওন প্রোগ্রেস। Learner monitor and evaluate their own progress. Learner are the members of a group and learn by interacting with others. So in this class, learner is a part of a group. If you remain silent in the class, if you do not work in the group activities, okay, sometimes we offer you the group presentation. So how you will be involved in a group, how you will be talking in your group, that would also be important. So learner will think that they will be a part of a group. In this group, in this whole class, you are a part of this class. So you have to interact with the group, and if you interact with the group, that you will be learning many things. So learner role will be evaluating in such a way. Learners tutors other learners. Okay, learner tutors other learners. Learners learn from teachers, from the students, from the other teaching sources. Okay, just you will not be attending the classes in the classroom, just you will not be understanding from the learners, but multiple sources are there at present. If you write the subject, that is approach and methods in English language teaching, you will get tens of thousands videos in these aspects. Okay, watch or listen one or two videos from YouTube, what they say. Okay, so learner will not learn from they will learn from learner, they will learn from students, they will learn from teachers, and also they will learn from other sources. Other source শুধুমাত্র YouTube video না, they can also learn, that is I have said the one kind of book, you will say some other book on approach and methods in English language teaching. So YouTube, from others books, from classroom, from students, every perspective learners will be learning. Okay, that would be the learner role. And also In case of counseling language learning, learners' role are highly developed and changed. Okay, so several stages are there. First stage starts with the total dependency on the teacher. So at the first stage, learner will be totally dependent on teachers, and the final stage, fifth stage, ends on the total independence of the learner. If you follow this role, if you learn from learner, if you can tutor other students, if you learn from the other sources, then after the ending of a course, you will be able to be total independent. That means you know a thing or matter independently, and you can teach anybody or any person after that. So if any learner follows the learner's role in a method, he or she will be efficient independently and can present a session or can deliver a lecture or can write an article on that article individually. So learner's role starts from the total dependency of the teacher, and after ending the class, there will be the total independence. Okay. So that is learner's role. Teacher's role just to deliver lecture dewa teacher's role. No, teacher's roles are closely related. They are totally dependent on the teacher as a source of knowledge. Other methods are teachers are the catalyst. Catalyst means সবাইকেই দেখবে যে সবাইকে consultant. Teacher not will be, okay, some person will, student may come that yes, I have having problem understanding your lecture. Would you please go slow? আপনি একটু আস্তে আস্তে বললে আমার সুবিধা হয়। ঠিক আছে, consult করবে, problem নিয়ে। Okay, guide. As I have said, the guide, yeah. Okay. Actually, what you will do, you teacher can't do anything to you. Okay, if you do not yourself, but the teacher, what they will do, they will guide you. Go over there, you will get pineapple over there. ওখানে গেলে আনারস আপনি কিনতে পারবেন, ওখানে গেলে আপনি ইয়ে কিনতে পারবেন, ওখানে গেলে আনতে, they will guide you. Okay, so you have the problem in writing, so follow this book, Langan's Effective Writing. You have problem in listening, okay, watch 2 or 3 movies in a week. Okay, so they can guide you, and after the guidance, learner will encourage to follow the guidance, and they will be a successful learner, whether they will be the language learner, whether they will be the learner of driving or anything else. যেকোনো ধরনের learning, but teacher will be the guide and the model for learning. Okay, I will learn in such a way. Other methods try to the teachers prove the instructional system and the repeated teacher initiative by building interactional content and directive আমাদের এখানে মনে হয় আজান পড়তেছে, আমরা শেষের দিকে চলে আসছি, হয়তো শেষ করবো। ওকে, teachers are expected to fulfill certain types of function. What are the function? Teachers have to maintain the degree of control of the classroom where learning takes place. Okay. First class, what I have said that please keep your mobile phone in your bag and keep it in silent mode. Why? That is the activity. I have to control the class. Okay. So if you have the mobile phone, you will see automatically, naturally, the human characteristic, naturally you will see the screen. So control the class, total control of the teacher will be responsible for the determination of the content or what is taught in the classroom. Okay. So at the initial stage, the teacher will be telling that these things I am going to teach you. Teacher will dictate the interactional pattern to be developed and held between teachers and learners. Okay, I have said that yes, ask me as many questions as you can. That means, and you can also have a group within. Teacher will be encouraging others to talk to others. Okay, so that would be the teacher's activities. Okay, so the teacher's role will be determined following these methods, and teacher's role can be compared with the role of a conductor of an orchestra. Conductor is orchestra or orchestra, do you know? Orchestra, sorry. Orchestra, thank you. Orchestra, several musical instruments will be there. Yes, and there will be a director or conductor. Conductor will say this way, this way, this way. You know? Okay. So the movie, there is a Bean movie. Beaner এরকম একটা movie আছে এরকম. So teacher will be conducting, conductor and orchestra, and therapist to a patient. যেমন একজন ঘাড়ে ব্যথা হয়েছে, থেরাপিস্টের কাছে বললে কি বলবে, কোন ধরনের থেরাপি তাকে নিতে হবে. So teacher will be a therapist to a patient, coach to a player. Okay, and some contemporary methods have initiated more symmetrical roles of the learner-teacher relationship, like as a friend to friend. At present, teacher's role has been friend to friend, colleague to colleague, teammate to teammate. That would be the teacher's role. Okay, so if you follow this teacher's role in every method, okay, then that would be the successful teaching learning scenario established. Teacher's role will ultimately reflect both the objectives of a method and the learning theory on which the method is built or predicted. Actually, teacher's role will also be determined by the method. একটা মেথডে কি বলা হচ্ছে সেই অনুযায়ী টিচারের রোলটা ডিটারমিন হবে. যদি বেশি কথা বলতে বলা হয় তাহলে টিচার বেশি কথা বলবে, যদি ফ্রেন্ড হতে বলা হয় তাহলে ফ্রেন্ড হবে, এবং যদি কন্ডাক্টর হতে বলা হয় তাহলে কন্ডাক্টর হতে বলবে, যদি গাইড হতে বলতে হয় তাহলে গাইডও বলা হবে. তার মানে কি, in every method there is learner's role, there is teacher's role as well. Okay, the teacher will be following the roles set according to the method, and everything will be the design of a method. Okay, so teacher's role of instructional materials, what you will be putting in the syllabus, what is the materials you will be implementing. So, and materials will focus on the communicative abilities of the interpretation, expression and negotiation. So materials will play the vital role in a method. And there will also be the procedure. The last level of conceptualization and organization within a method is what we will refer as the procedures. So procedures will be there. Okay, so the ways in which particular teaching activities are used for practicing language, the procedure and the techniques used in giving feedback to learners concerning the form or content of their utterance and the sentence. So procedure, teacher's role, learner's role, instructional materials, and the role of teachers and the learners, everything will be determined by the method. For one method, this will be different. That means learner's role, teacher's role, instructional materials, syllabus, content, that would be different. For another method, that would be the different. So learner, teachers, everybody will be following that procedures in case of having a successful method. Method would be successful if it becomes successful for both the teachers and learners. If it is not, and if we follow the design of a method, of course that would be a good method, and that can be applicable for all students all over the universities, all over the world. Okay, so this is the theory of language. So we have started with the theory of language. There are several theories are there: linguistics theory and structure as psycholinguistics theory. In case of psycholinguistics language theory, we have some process-oriented theories or product-oriented theories. These process-oriented theories, cognitive theories, method may be linked to one kind of theory and may be linked to two kinds of theories. Whether it would be a method, of course there will be a theoretical underpinning, and according to the theoretical basis, method will follow a design. In a design, you will have content, instructional materials, role of teachers, role of learners, role of instructional materials, role of procedures. So every method's procedures and design is different. following the design, if a method is applicable or if a method is applied in a class, that method would be successful for both the learners and the teachers. Any questions? Yes, sir and madams?